so that he actually takes more hits from the harpoons.
Yeah, because sometimes he gets
you pulled him back. Okay, I see. You got the harpoon pulled further back. Okay. I found that if you put a harpoon like right here and point it right at the rock, and put another one just a little bit next to it and point it right at the rock, both of them will shoot around the tree, and anything that gets hung on the tree, which is usually just the skeletons or orcs, you can come over there and just take them out.
All right, we're talking about moving this one wall into 2 walls.
No, we don't have enough DU.
Yeah. All right.
But we can go with this.
We'll roll with this, and if it has a problem, we'll adjust.
We'll see what happens.
Should I put my genie on? I think so.
I think a genie's going to be good because we're going to have to get all of this upgraded very quickly.
Oh, by the way, if a Jinn gets hung back here like he normally does, leave him and kill everything else, and you can milk him for mana.
Okay, sounds good. Milk the Jinn. Right.
That's right, milk him for mana.
That's not all wrong.
Oh, where's my good genie?
We have everything like 3-starred by wave 2 when that happens.
I can't.
When you milk Jinns.
I can't find my good genie, so I'll just have to use my crappy one.
At least you have a good genie. I have one genie that has like 200 attack and only 11 upgrades.
Sounds about like mine. Sounds about like mine, so don't feel bad. You're not the only one.
I don't even know where I got my genie from, but it's a pretty good genie. It's got 75 up.
I'm pretty sure it was a 10 mana genie from Endless
I think
Fire.
it might have been, yeah. When we were farming the shit out of that.
Back in the day when we could actually do stuff.
Back in the day of farming that to hell.
Back in the day when we had progression.
Well, it was sort of progression. It was kind of cheating a bit.
I can't believe that one pet I have in my freaking thing right now is 400 million.
I know, it's so mean. And they're moving the cap up to 600 mil soon as well. There's going to be even less 10 mana pets.
So I better.
And there's going to be 600 mil pets.
So I better freaking.
You want to buy that before the cap goes over, otherwise it's going to cost you a bomb.
So that means I need to do like 2 Oasis Monster Fest runs later this week.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Before Friday.
Yeah, the 26th.
Before the 26th, that's
Thursday.
That's Thursday.
Yeah. Plus, there's no Dungeon Defenders this weekend. Only Guild Wars 2.
There's Guild Wars 2 only this weekend. I'm looking forward to it.
Guild Wars 2 and kids and stuff.
Stuff for kids. Just Guild Wars 2. Must have more Guild Wars.
But yeah, once we get that patch, we can use. We don't really need the darkness traps anymore. That'll free up some extra DU. Of course, we'll probably have to tend to shark things trying to eat our face and all that. So
don't they just like push around your defenses or something?
Apparently,
we're not entirely certain.
From what I've read, they're like kobolds that move fast, die kind of easy, but instead of blowing up, they'll push your defenses. So you got to kill them before they get to your defenses. Otherwise, they'll screw your arrangement.
I don't mind them. I don't mind them.
They apparently walk out. They apparently act just like kobolds, as in they move out of the spawn slowly, but when they get within range of something, then all of a sudden they trigger a dash.
Right.
You need stuff that kills them quickly.
So like proxies and stuff are probably really good.
To the person asking what game this is, it's Dungeon Defenders. I'm guessing Vicious hasn't changed what he's streaming.
I did. They maybe not have updated on their side.
Maybe. Dungeon Defenders on the PC.
This is 3D6 Villa 2.
Okay.
Hey, you know what? If I was stuck on an island and for like ever and ever, and you only could pick one game you could play for the entire time you were there, that'd probably be the game I'd pick.
To be fair, it certainly wouldn't be this.
You know, everyone's gonna come up with some answer. They're gonna think about replayability of a game. They're gonna be like, well, the game that has the best replayability is this. I'd be like, you know what? I'm a smarter man than you guys. I know what game to pick.
It may not be real companionship, but hell, I'll take what I can get.
It's all you're gonna get on a desert island.
Yeah, it beats poking holes in coconuts.
So wrong.
Suddenly not PG.
When was this ever PG?
I don't know, whenever Trovo started talking about masturbating.
And not knowing what time it is.
Oh, Jesus. Well, it seems to be going pretty well and fast so far.
Yeah, so far.
We got 2 ogres over here.
I think the most I've gone to, or the highest wave I've gone to, is like wave 21.
That is okay. An ogre walked all the way down here, turned around, and is walking all the way back towards spawn.
What the fuck?
Excellent.
He was
I can't
scared.
be fucked no more. He just leaves.
He's like, there's harpoons over there. Fuck that.
You're telling me you want me to
one-
walk into that shit?
He's one of the first ogres that actually got a high school education.
Yeah.
He's
Sharp
the
pointy
only
thing
smart
shooting me.
ogre.
Maybe you should go elsewhere.
I will say that you might have to manually detonate some of the traps later. in
Yeah,
later waves.
I've learned that gas trap manual detonation to stop Jin from desummoning works really well.
As long as your trap range is over 1,000, it shouldn't have to be done like that. It should trigger on its own.
Well, if it's already triggered and it finally wears off, if there's this small window where sometimes one of them will go, oh, I can just sneak over this now.
Yeah, they kind of float a little too high.
Yeah, they'll float outside of its detonation range.
So
I've
you
almost-
go with the proxy on top of Mage Ball.
Yeah.
I've talked about using that strategy, but not actually employed it yet.
I'm trying to figure out how it is that I has more HPs than you, Vicious. Oh my gosh.
Well, for one, I took damage. 2, your gear is a lot better than mine now.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
Yeah, that'll do it. God, and everything just hits pathetically now. I can actually stay on my EV and live.
For now.
You should wait until like golden. Well, the problem about
It's the
mixed
gold
mode-
ninjas that's the problem, I know.
That and if you're not careful by wave 22, wave 23, you'll be one-shotted by Jin, and that sucks.
Yeah.
Finish him.
With this build, the problem I've had was the gold ninjas will run through everything, jump over your defense, and then like jump all the way up into the sky and dive bomb you.
Nice. Real
That-
classy.
And even
How far have you made it with this build? What wave?
on just hardcore survival, I've
Yeah.
made it to like 26. But on
Nice.
mix mode, I only make it to
Alright.
21 because
Well, I've maxed out the north area.
Following the same idea that we used for Oasis, it probably would help. Having someone with a boost monk and a split up of guardians.
Oh yeah.
And then we can just stay in the middle, and once we free up the extra DU with the patch, we can put an extra strength drain aura and a healing aura like right in the middle where we just kind of camp out.
yeah.
That'd make you pretty much not able to die against anything that hops in there.
How the hell did that spider hit me? Like halfway across the fucking map.
You got webbed from halfway across the map.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
you,
I had one
Spider.
did that to me the other day. He actually was being all like, I can see the future, and like he threw his web, and I ran
Yeah.
from him. The web was already in the air, and I ran and turned, and then it landed on me around a corner, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, they don't even give a shit.
you know they
It's like,
home, right?
They
yeah,
do.
but-
I know they.
Yeah.
I know they're not as precise as they used to be.
No. They home a little bit. Like he'll throw it at you from across the map, and if you can make it run all, I've actually ran from the north end all the way back behind the wall, and I've seen it hit the wall.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, the worst thing I have happens when I play, I have people that like stand on the towers, and I'm like, that's the worst possible place to stand if a spider webs you, because it webs you and the towers.
Yeah,
Get
because it
away.
webs the tower.
Get away from the towers.
I would prefer you die than the tower get webbed.
Right. Here comes the spider flood. Mwah.
We got it now.
I think one of the problems with this build as well is when like the gas trap gives out and one of the gens from northwest float down to this passage right here that aggro onto the wall over here. That's
Yeah.
for the spiders, and they'll fucking listen to do some of that.
Well,
I am
maxed
privy to
out
that
the
problem.
north.
I think the solution to that will be next patch. Put like a shock beam over there.
Yeah, I think the shock beams are gonna help considerably.
Yes.
Well, that was pretty damn easy.
It's only wave 11 though.
I know.
The good stuff doesn't start until like wave 20.
I know. I can dream, can't I?
Oh no, I think my internet's
Vicious
dying.
is like Vicious is like pet the shroomites, want humongous eggs.
Yes, I
Yeah,
do.
this is the first time he's ever pet a shroomite.
No, it's not the first time. Might be the first time I've willingly done so though.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pet the shroomiite! I will put this gun to your head. Pet the shroomiite now.
Do it! Do it! Don't make me pull this trigger. Actually,
Don't make me kill this kitten.
It'd be much better in Dark Knight voice though.
Did you watch that, Vicious?
Yeah, I didn't find it as funny as you guys did. It was funny, but it wasn't. You actually made it out to be funnier than what it was, though.
I didn't. I even said it was funny. DP was the one saying it was the most awesome thing I've ever linked.
Well, yeah, but you haven't actually linked anything to me before, so...
Well, I've linked a couple of things, but then Vicious, you know, was linking Lilo and Stitch porn.
Exactly!
I did not. This is lies.
Yes, you did!
No, I didn't. It wasn't porn. Alright, I put my Apprentice Guardian on.
I have my Apprentice Guardian on as well.
I'll put Huntress on.
That's what I'm doing.
Actually
No, I'm going
best
for Huntress
one,
Guardian
so.
too, which means I need to actually figure out where I stuck the Huntress Guardian.
Does anyone have a boost monk?
I do not.
Nope.
It is on my to-do list.
Yeah.
I have...
One of those things that we will get done eventually.
I have 2 monks. I just need to level up one of them and find gear for them.
Well, you can find gear for him here.
Yep. It's just
Hopefully.
I can get him in starter myths, which would probably be better than nothing. But I don't.
We
have
should probably
anything good.
G.
If we're ready to go, that would be a good idea.
Keep on forgetting that there's no time limit and it's like, we could stand here forever.
No, you'll get disconnected.
That's why 3 waves of survival can
Probably.
take 6 hours. Everybody gets caught up bullshitting.
Oh dear. Almost 3,000 enemies already. It's only the second wave.
Well, we started with 3,000, almost 3,000 enemies last
know.
wave.
Crazy
Yeah, well,
amount of enemies.
I don't believe it goes up to like 6,000. Like,
No, that's Foundries and Forges. You
Yeah.
start on Foundries and Forges by wave 10, you have 6,700 enemies.
Misty is the
ridiculous.
only one I know of that they've toned down the enemy count.
Well, they're rescaling
They're
all
gonna make all
survival
of them,
mob spawns based loosely on Misty's spawn counts.
They're all going to be
so-
based on
Yeah,
Misty,
everyone
which
was
is
upset
nice.
because the next one that came after Misty didn't have the scaling. They're like, we thought you learned your lesson on Misty. That no one likes survival with like 10,000 enemies.
No, exactly. But I
Oh,
will
no.
happily do survival if it doesn't take me 6 hours to do it. I'm happy to spend an hour or so doing it.
Oh yeah, let's see. Johan-san, this is his first live stream that he got to tune into live.
Welcome.
welcome.
Welcome, young one.
I always wanted to do the whole, like, thing from Mortal Kombat, you know, welcome!
I don't remember a welcome in Mortal Kombat.
No. I remember a finish him
Yes,
and
yeah,
stuff
they
like
finish
that.
him.
But,
Whoopsie!
Toasty! Yeah.
and yeah.
Kulao wins. Fatality.
Friendship.
What the hell, Midway?
And babality, and then
Yes.
animality,
Yeah.
and then they added even more stuff after that later on.
But the newest
No,
one,
they have like
they don't have
X-rays and
animality.
stuff like that, which is actually kind of neat. in a really
Animalities were my
bizarre way.
favorite when they added those. Those were awesome. They were like so violently bloody.
Brutality.
The best kind.
And brutality, you rip off someone's arm and beat them to death with it, yes.
Beat them to death with their own arm. It's brilliant.
But in the newest one, the only person that has the closest thing to a fatality is Liu Kang. He turns into a dragon, but that's
There is no
considered
new Mortal
fatality.
Kombat. The last real Mortal Kombat they ever made was Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3.
Wait, okay, the one that came out.
MK 2009.
Mortal Kombat Trilogy is my favorite one of all time. For overall, because it had so many characters, and it was like based on the old Mortal Kombat 2 Mortal Kombat. Yeah, I think it was based. No, it was based off Mortal Kombat 3. But as soon as they went 3D.